Hello everybody, today we will do another integral of 0 to pi over 2 cosine square theta times log of cosine theta d theta. Okay, to attack this integral, okay, we observe that the cosine square theta terms can be replaced by cosine 2 theta, okay, using the double angle formula, okay. We know cosine 2 theta is just 2 cosine square theta minus 1. So this can become 1 plus cosine 2 theta over 2 times log of cosine theta. Now we split the integral into two parts. The first part will be 1/2 0 to pi over 2, and then we have log of cosine theta here. And the second part will be 1/2 0 to pi over 2 again, and then cosine 2 theta times log of cosine theta d theta. And we clearly make some progress here because we know this. The first integral is just minus pi over 2 times log 2 by the previous result. So we will have our focus on this integral. Now, for the integral of the cosine 2 theta times log of cosine theta d theta here, we first want to absorb the cosine 2 theta into the differential, okay? So we can use the integration by part. Now, here this will become, typo here, cosine theta, and then d sine 2 theta, and then we have 1/2 here. And then we perform integration by part, okay? So we will have 1/2, and then sine 2 theta times log of cosine theta from 0 to pi over 2, and then we will minus 1/2 0 to pi over 2, and then we differentiate log of cosine, so it will become cosine theta. The derivative of cosine is just minus sine, so we change sign here, and then we times sine 2 theta d theta. Okay, now we will have to evaluate the limits here, okay? When theta is 0, okay, these terms will vanish, okay? When theta is pi over 2, okay, we will have to do some calculations here, okay? Limit theta tends to pi over 2. Sine 2 theta is just 2 sine theta cosine theta, and then log of cosine theta. Okay? And then we will flip the limit from pi over 2 to 0, okay? So this will become cosine u, this will become sine u, and then cosine will become sine u. Now, we know this guy will tend to 1, okay? So we will have to calculate this one, okay? We clearly will use L'Hospital rule since this is type 0's time infinity in determinate form, okay? So we will change it into 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity, okay? So we will first split the limit into two parts, okay, so that we can perform L'Hospital rule, okay? Now we will change the sine u into 1 over sine u, okay? So in this case, we can, since this is infinity over infinity type, so we can clearly use the L'Hospital rule here. This is 1, okay, so we just cancel it, and then we will have this one. Log sine u is just 1 over sine u, and then sine, the derivative of sine will become cosine. And then for this one, we will have minus 1 over sine square u here, and then we times cosine u here. And then in this case, this guy cancel this guy, and then what we have left will be limit u tends to 0 minus sine of u. But this is just 0. Okay? So we go back to our original integral. We know this go to 0, okay? Both terms go to 0. So we will have to calculate this one. We will continue our journey. This is 1/2. And also we know sine 2 theta is just 2 sine theta cosine theta. Okay, so we will have 2 sine square theta, one here, and the cosine theta will cancel each other. Okay, we cancel each other. So what we have here will be CO to pi over 2, and then sine of square theta, sine square theta, d theta. And this is easy, okay, because we know, okay, as we shall see, this is just pi over 4, okay? How can we know this, okay? First, we notice that this is a CO to pi over 2, and this is a function of sine, okay? So, we know that this guy is just the cosine squared is the same, okay? When sine theta change to cosine theta, okay? This is just the same, okay? Now, we add two of these integral together, okay? And then sine square theta times plus cosine square theta will be 1. So if we let this is I, then what we have is 2i is just 1. And here is pi over 2. So what we have, I will become pi over 4, okay? So we have this integral is just pi over 4. Okay, and then we get back to our original integrals here. This is pi over 4. Okay, so altogether, we will have 1/2 here, and then minus pi over 2 log 2 plus pi over 4. So our final answer will be pi over 8 minus pi over 4 times log 2. Okay, allow me to write the answer here. So today, what we have is 0 to pi over 2 cosine square of theta times log of cosine theta d theta. It's just pi over 8 minus pi over 4 times log 2. Okay. Hope you guys would enjoy this video. Okay, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.